In this video, I'll be showing you how to look ahead for square 1. So look ahead is commonly associated with stuff like Typo3, Big Cubes, and Megaminx, where look ahead is pretty important, but not really associated with square 1, where people mostly associate spamming algs and turning fast. However, look ahead can be quite an important part of doing square 1, so in this video I'll be showing you how to do look ahead between each step. Between CubeShape and CO, the best way to look ahead is to look ahead for the last slice on the top side. So here's an example, scale to height. I'll do the alg right here. And then before I do the last slice, I take note of the two corners that go to the bottom, which is white, white. So now I know two whites here, but then I look ahead, and then I know these two whites will be here. I can go straight into the CO like that. Here's another example. I have scallop here. So we're looking for the last slice of the alg. So the white's down here. So now we have 3 here. And you look ahead to this last white piece, so we can go straight to CO without any major pause. This trick for look ahead is pretty nice, but you can't always do it. For example, for this case, if you go like this, so it's pawn, slice, that, slice. I know the white's gonna be here, but I don't know if the white's gonna be here or here from this last slice. So for this case, I wouldn't have to look to the bottom, and I couldn't really look at the whole CO, but I can look at only part of the CO. So for cases like these, you can actually do some tricks to look at it even better. So for this case, pawn again, I can notice this black piece goes to the back here, and I'm doing a D move, so it's going to move it to the back left. So that's going to be black, this position right here on the way in the back. Last 2 slices, and from the last slice I can notice that this is white. So these 2 are white, this last slice shows me that this is going to be white. Now this piece has to be white because this piece is black from the look at before. So now we can do CO without pausing again. This trick is a bit more difficult, but it is possible to get the hang of. So EO prediction is also quite similar. So here I have a CO case, so I'm going to solve it with slice D slice. And while doing that, all I have to do is look at the last slice, which shows me that there are 2 white pieces here. So now I know 2 white pieces are going to be here, and now I can go straight into the EO case because now I know I have line L. So no big pause there. Just like CS to CO, for CO to EO, you can't always just look ahead for the last slice to predict where your EO will be. So sometimes you have to use other information. For in this case, I have white top, so I need to bring this up here and then do a D2 and then U slice. So slice, U, D2, slice. So with that D2, I can kind of predict that this black piece is going to be to the left here, and then this white piece will be in the back here. So slice. From that I can look ahead, and then black, white, slice, D2, U. So for the last slice, I know that black's gonna be here, and then white's gonna be here. So I kind of already mapped out my whole bottom layer. So from the previous slice, I know this is gonna be black, this is gonna be white. From this slice, I know this is gonna be black, this is gonna be white. So now I can do that. Now I know I have L here, and I already know that 2 whites are going to be here and here. So I'll go straight into EO here. So if we're looking ahead into CO and EO, those are pretty advanced techniques. You have to be pretty comfortable with CS and pretty comfortable with CO and EO if you want to be able to do those techniques. I think those will only be really useful maybe when you're sub 15, but if you're not sub 15, those techniques aren't really useful, and there's other things you can do better in your solves. However, looking ahead between EO and CP is actually really important, and this should be learned pretty early. So this is an easier technique for look ahead. Before you do EO alg, all you have to do is look at the corners. So all my EO algs preserve the corners, and that's going to be the case for some people. Some people might have like 1 or 2 EO algs that might mess up the corners, but usually a good amount of them are going to preserve all the corners. So knowing that, the corner permutation you get before you do EO and after EO is going to be pretty much the same. So during EO, look for your corner permutation. So here I know I have an add swap here for the corners and add swap here for the corners. So I know I'll have to do a JJ after this EO. So EO, and now I have to do JJ, and I know that. So I do D2, and then JJ. I can go straight into that because I already know that the corners are going to be like a JJ orientation. Here's another example. For EO, I have 1, 1 here. On top, I see I have opposite corner swaps because opposite colors here, opposite color here, opposites here. So on top, I know I have to do an N perm. On bottom, it's J perm because headlights here means I have the J perm here and then nothing here. So just J perm here, J perm, N perm. So I can do the 1, 1 alg and then go straight into JN or NJ. And from here, just go straight into NJ. And there we go. Now we're already at CP. So there are some EO algs that mess with the corners that some people use. For example, in this case, all the corners are solved, as you can see. But if you do this other alg that people might use, that messes up the corners, as you can see here. So for those people, there's a few options. First off, you can learn the alg that preserves the corners. That's one option. The other option is just to know how it changes up the corners, so that for that specific case, look at the corners, then you can still predict the CP as usual. For CP into EP prediction, this is also pretty simple. So if you guys don't already know the trick, for CP, if you align all the blocks like this, it gives you a better EP case. So that's a trick you should know for this before you look ahead. So the look ahead trick for this is that every time you have a lined block, that creates a line for EP. So I know from here, from top and bottom layers, that I'm going to have a line here and a line here. So there's going to be 2 lines. You can also use this trick to predict what kind of EP stuff you get on the other lines. So this will be preserved like this. And I know I'm going to get some kind of an edge swap thing here. And then this is preserved, so some other edge swap thing. And same for the bottom here, edge swap thing, edge swap thing. So from here, I already know I'm going to get edge after doing the end turn. Like that, edge. So here's another case. So I'm preserving all my blocks again, as usual. So over here, I know I have 2 lines here, and then there's going to be 2 lines there. Now, for the other lines, I can kind of look at the other pieces. So immediately here, I notice that I have an opposite block thing that's going to be preserved. So now I know, okay, I'm going to have some kind of opposite swap thing here. If you somehow get a glance at the back, you'd also see that this will be preserved, and this is also an opposite swap. So from this top layer, you can already see that you got 2 lines, 2 opposite swaps. So your EP will probably be something like line, opposite swap like that. Looking at the bottom layer, these are preserved, so I'm going to have 2 lines on the bottom EP. And then for the rest, this is preserved, this block here, is some kind of edge swap. And this last line in back, if you get the chance to see it, it's also an edge swap kind of thing. They're not opposite colors. So for the bottom layer, after JJ, I know I have some kind of edge swap. So I have some kind of op edge probably. And as you can see, that is true, op edge. So hopefully this video taught you a bit on how to look ahead for square one. Some of our techniques are quite advanced, and since the turning nature of square one is quite different from other cubes, it is a bit harder to look ahead, but it still is possible for sure. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.